This is how to make a carbon charcoal microphone. To make your carbon microphone, you're just going to need a couple of supplies. You're going to need some carbon, activated carbon, just like the stuff you get out of a aquarium store. Scissors would help. Alligator clips would help too. One pair of two would work good, but you could also just use the aluminum foil itself as a connector. Some glue stick, aluminum foil, 2 cups. I like to use plastic cups, but you can use paper cups too, and you need some type of speaker system. This is a speaker system from a computer, but you can use almost any kind of amplified computer system. This one here is just a small one from a Radio Shack too. So to make your cup microphone, there's several variations you could do, but this is the one I like to do. So I cut out a couple of strips of aluminum foil, and on 1 cup I glue it to the bottom and off to the side. And when you glue it, what you want to do is you want to make sure you get all the extra little pieces off, because you don't want any contact. So make sure it is pretty well situated on the bottom of the cup. Nice and flat and rigid. Sometimes I'll actually compress it down with the glue stick. And the other piece, you want to put it inside the cup, because you want to make sure these pieces are very firmly attached so they respond to the vibrations of the sound waves that are going to go into them. This is pretty firmly implanted on the bottom of the cup. And now the next step is to just put some activated charcoal covering the bottom to a depth of a couple millimeters. Take your other cup with the piece on the bottom, make sure it doesn't touch the other piece of aluminum foil. Insert it on top. You just made your cup microphone. So now what you need to do is hook up your carbon microphone up to your speaker. In this case, I'm using a computer monitor speaker, and here's the jack that comes off of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pair of alligator clips, even though you can use the aluminum foil itself, but this makes it a little bit easier. I'm going to hook up the alligator clips up to the jack on one side and onto the other side, and now I'm going to hook them up to the microphone directly. So one alligator clip that goes on one piece of foil, and the other one goes on the other piece of foil. And your cup is ready to go. Make a couple of adjustments on it. Sounds good. Speaker's on. Electricity is flowing out from the speakers into the resistors back in, and by changing the resistance on it, and I can change the resistance by talking into it, it's not a great quality sound, but you get the idea of how a resistance microphone works. The way the cup microphone works is because of variable resistance. The carbon at the bottom of the cup is a semiconductor. When it's loosely held like this, it's a pretty poor carrier of electricity. But when it gets smashed down, it can carry the electricity a little bit more efficiently. When you speak into the upper cup, the bottom vibrates, and those vibrations cause the carbon inside the other cup, in the lower cup, to be smashed together and loosened up, and smashed together and loosened up based on the sound waves that go through it. Depending on how that carbon is held together, whether tightly or loosely, causes a change in resistance, and that resistance is what is interpreted as a sound wave through the speakers. Carbon charcoal microphone.